Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Sigval here, welcome back to another video. So yeah, I forgot my glasses and the cat is sitting in my lap, so I'm not gonna try to disturb him. But in this video, I'm gonna try to explain to you how to build characters, because I do have a guide on how to build kind of any character, but that's quite outdated, because I don't think we had the 7 talents or the last gear reforged back then. But yeah, here we're gonna talk about the different stages of building a character. There's going to be bare minimum, there's going to be somewhat built, and there's going to be the perfect builds. So yeah, let's get into it. First up, what you want to do is, provided you have all the gears for the character, and if you don't do this for as many gears as you can, we want to take it step by step. We want to get the gears all the way up to first level 20. This level 20 is going to unlock a second bonus. Again, this is very early start of the game. You don't have that many resources to spend. Do your best to get some characters with some gears at level 20. Getting more of them than just building, being hyper focused on one is gonna allow you to do better in Arena and Champions Arena, because those game modes are very important in the early stages. But at the same time, kind of reward time spent playing them rather than having one extremely strong team. You might want to get some characters to level 20 at the start, even though they might not move from there for a while. And characters I recommend you start doing this with are going to be Kimflant Suckman, Batuman the Drowned. If you get a Beast Boy, that's great. Yeah, let me actually show the characters. But yeah, what you want to do first is get the gears to 20, because you unlock another bonus. You want to take the gears as slowly as possible, because as you upgrade them, the only thing that's gonna increase when you get another level is gonna be the cost. Like, it has a very flat amount that it increases the defense by. Like, getting from level 21 to 22 is gonna give me as much as getting from level 79 to 80, but that's gonna cost a lot of resources, so be mindful of that. Now let's get into some characters that you wanna do this with, maybe at the start of the game. Kimflant Sakoman is a pretty good choice. You're gonna get him from the League Store and from the daily login rewards, so that's gonna be pretty good. You can get yourself a Batman the Drowned start a little bit if you get lucky enough to get her. You can probably justify doing it on Silver Batman too, because it's a character that I know for sure everybody's gonna have, and he's decent in Arena and Champions Arena. But yeah, it really depends on what's in the store when you make a new account and what you'll have available. Maybe you don't have any of the things I mentioned, though King you will have. But there was a Beast Boy sale and you have Beast Boy. And that brings me to the next topic of building characters. So we say that you're gonna get a few bonuses. Now, what do you want to get on the gears? So let's move on to that. Okay, so first up, if you are short on reforges, and we are not, and you're not going to be later in the stages of the game, but at the start you might actually be short on reforges and not have that many reforges. First thing you want to look is for the useless bonuses. There's two useless bonuses, I mean for the most part useless, in the game on the gears, and those are going to be the stun resistance and the crit resistance. Make sure you got anything but those, because anything but those will do a little bit of something on every single character in the game. That's the thing we want to look for in this. Also, it's look, this is stun resistance. I would pop a few single ones until I get something more useful. There we go, fast actions. This is by all means a garbage build right now, but it's better than nothing. And how did he? Oh, it's the tech bug that gives him so much crit damage. But yeah, let's talk about the talents a bit, because you're not at the point where you're gonna reroll talents. Because you can do the free rerolls on every single damn character, that's definitely gonna be worth it. But after you get to that point, it's gonna be so expensive to roll talents compared to the benefit you're gonna get. Let me give you an idea of how this goes. Let's go with 30. This is very expensive for the early stages of the game, 150. This is crit resistance, and this is armor pierce. Unless this was a tank, those epic bonuses would be useless, and this is quite lucky actually, because I have taken like 50, 60, 120 even without getting a single epic bonus. But getting the specific epic bonus you need, it's gonna require so much. So early on, rather than focusing on the talents, and we're gonna go back to the talents, you should try and upgrade the abilities. Because the talents are going to give you a little bit more crit, a little bit more something, but very expensive, and those are chance-based effects, and while they're good, you're probably going to get early on much more out of getting just raw guaranteed damage out of your specials and upgrading them this way. And this is kind of about it for the bare minimum side of things. Now let's talk about something else which I didn't really think about talking about at the start of the video, but it should be its own category. The characters that you get limited gears on. So let's talk about that. Okay, this is kind of a category in itself, which is the legendary characters that you have very limited gears for. And you can get this going. You can definitely get this going. We have a Beast Boy here who's got 1 gear and almost has everything he needs to deal damage for me. This Beast Boy does 2 billion damage almost every single fight. And he's got crit chance and he's got crit damage. And this is a rule that you're gonna see for 99% of the characters in the game that you want to deal damage with. It's gonna be they need crit chance and they need crit damage. And I did my best and spent quite a lot of gems to get his talents at Epic, which we're going to talk about a little bit later on. And I got his gear at level 80, and I got an Epic crit chance here, and rare bonuses here. And yet again, this is more like a perfect build, but with 1 gear. But the point I'm trying to make is that for every single character that you want to have somewhat built, try to get your percentage values. If you have a tank, get the defense and get the resistances, because that's more important than health. You have a damage dealer, get the crit chance and crit damage, because that's more important than attack and is going to do a lot more for you. Because for soul rates, where you're going to use characters a lot of the times, you are going to get a lot of attack from the artifacts that you're going to equip in those soul rates. So don't worry about that too much. But yeah, let's move on to Deadshot and see how we keep building him. Okay, let's talk about the bulk rerolls for both gears and talents, because I'm going to start doing them, but I don't want you guys getting the wrong idea. How many bulk rerolls should you do? Well, depends on what you need. Like, as I said, at the early stages of the game, you should not do any of them, because talents are not worth it, but then it depends what you need. If you're going out of your way to get the desired epic, there's no reason to go lower than 30 at once, because that's going to take some time, but again, that should come a lot later on in your Just a Mobile journey, and until then, what you can do is do like 10 of them, and we're not looking for an epic. If we get an epic, that's great. Look, we got crit damage, that's amazing. We would have probably gotten that crit damage in 30 rerolls too, but would have wasted more gold. So I suggest you start with something like 10 of them. You're not even looking for epics here. We are looking for good rares. Let's do 10 of them again. And this is garbage. Let's roll 10 of them again. Come on, just give me 1 rare. Come on, buddy. It did like literally give me the same thing. I'm kind of tired too. Didn't really notice, but this looked weird. Okay, we got a rare attack, we don't need that. Again, this is a damage tier, so we're trying to get crit chance or crit damage. I mean, the character itself is not really a damage dealer, but we're building him as a damage dealer. A lot of the times you can actually cut short losses and grab a resistances too, because resistance is gonna be pretty decent at keeping you alive. And if I get randomly a resistance that's epic, I'm gonna leave that there. Same with defense. Same with a lot of things that wouldn't make it in the 100% build, but until that point, they're gonna be solid talents. Because as we move back to the gears, you'll quickly notice that we can get everything we need for the most part pretty early on. Let's move on to level 40 gears. This is gonna be kind of your middle point of building characters. And in this middle point, you're gonna look to get all the percentage values, same as we did with the 1 gear Beast Boy. If 1 gear Beast Boy can do it, then you probably can get it on a character with 5 gears at level 40. I know the 1 gear Beast Boy was a lot stronger in terms of the level of the gear that he had on. And keep doing this. And after I'm done with this, I'm gonna actually start looking for things that we need. Because we need crit chance and crit damage. While health was not that bad until this point, we want to get something better, so that's what we're gonna go ahead and do. But again, first of all, if you get limited resources, just look for crit resistance and stun resistance and remove that. Look, we got 1 here, which is not doing anything for me. and we got one on another gear, I'm pretty sure. And you just keep doing this until you get your percentage values done. It's a bad example because it's a tech character and their goddamn passive is bugged. So just know that this is a visual bug. He has 150 base crit damage and 25 additional. So he has at 174. Oh boy, it was a bad choice to use a tech character as a template. But yeah, with those things, you can reroll them one at once if you're really running short on them, or you can go with multiple Reforge, but again, do a little bit of a limited amount of them. And bam, we have fast actions. Some damage dealers need it, some damage dealers don't. If your damage dealer needs it, then you make sure you get that. And just keep doing this until you get all the percentage values. And let me show you another character. Okay, so this Nightwing is level 80 gears, and he is somewhat built. If we take a look at these passives, again, the crit damage is kind of bugged, but we have everything we need. We have crit chance for the most part, crit damage, we have lethal chance, we have fast attack chance, and we get a little bit of attack. Now, if I spend a lot more resources on this man, I could probably get his build a lot better. But since it's got the percentage values over here, let's say I'm dealing with this man without a Raven or a Harley, let's say I'm dealing with him 200 mil. If I got him a perfect, absolutely perfect build, he would probably move from 200 mil to 240 mil. So it's going to be a lot of resources for not that much in return. And you should eventually do that with some characters. Like, definitely, I'm not against that, but just make sure you have the resources to spare for that. I think my Harley's perfect build. Yeah, it's a weird thing with the crit chance where if I was to change it to epic, it wouldn't help me in any way, but other than that, she's perfect build. And let's talk about the fourth talent and the gear bonuses. So the not the fourth talent, the seventh talent. So those are gonna be things that are gonna be a bit more hard to come by, and that's gonna be one thing valid over here, which is the legendary Talon Reforge. I don't have any of them, but if I did, I would reroll them one at a time because they are so rare. And also with the gear reforges, what you want to do is try, first of all, we have crit damage here, right? That's something we need. Because we have that, we might be able to squeeze some attack on other things. This is stun resistance. Let's remove that because this is useless. And we're gonna get a very good attack bonus. That's great. But you don't want to look for specific things in the gear slot here because you can't afford to be picky. You're gonna run with whatever the game gives you and then do the rest of the build. Like, for example, it gave me crit damage here. I already have maxed out crit damage, but this is good because now I can use the far less rare reforges that I have, which are the normal ones, and move all the way until I can get some attack over here. And we basically got attack because of that talent, even though it was not attack itself. So make sure you do your build specifically around the fourth talent, because that's a lot harder to reroll. And you just go up with the gears. I would suggest first you get some characters to 60, then you get some characters to 40, then maybe you get the characters you're using the most to 70, then maybe to 80. It's gonna be a gradual progress, and it's been a long time since I was through it myself, so I don't know how fast it will be. And back when I was through it myself, we didn't have that many resources, so you should have a bit of an easier job. But y'all, that being said, thanks so much for watching. Like it if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, and I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye!